Hey guys, what's up? It's Raven. As you can see, my Christmas decorations are still up. My house is also just generally still in shambles from hosting over the holidays. My beautifully organized pantry has become very unorganized, but today is January 6th. We have started the new year, so it is time to reset my home and get my life back together. So today the focus is going to be taking down all of my Christmas decorations, storing everything, organizing everything, also putting away all of my entertaining supplies, resetting my kitchen, reorganizing my pantry. So it's just gonna be a very much new year clean reset type of day. And another exciting thing about today is that I hired a new personal assistant. Woohoo! If you know, you know. I've been trying to find someone for a while now, and today is actually gonna be her first day on the job. So she is going to be helping me with this new year reset, and I think you guys will be able to meet her in this video. Okay y'all, so we're gonna get started taking everything down. I thought it might make sense to start at the front of the house and work our way back. We did already take down all of the outdoor decorations and the things that were in the outdoor entryway. My dad helped me with that the other day. Shout out to my dad. So that's already done. It's all piled up in my garage though, so we will have to sort through like the actual storage of that stuff. That's gonna be interesting. But as far as taking down stuff in here, I think I wanna start with taking the garland off the stairs, and then we'll work our way to this Christmas tree, these trees, and then start going into the living room and everything. Most of the stuff that's in here, I do already have like storage for. As you can see, Bougie is modeling it over there. So we do have, you know, some storage, but I know I'm gonna end up having to get extra storage for all the new stuff that I bought this year. We'll just start with taking off the garland. Bougie, what are you doing? Okay, so garland and everything is off of the stair railing. It did make a huge mess with all the shedding snow, but that's fine. Moving on to here, and then this stuff I had just moved out of the way because I already got started with trying to reset this table the other day because I got some new stuff from Home Goods. This and this. Obviously it still needs some work, but I just wanted to see what those new vases would look like in this space. So these are just the decorations that I took off of that table, and I need to find a storage spot for them. But I think now we'll just start by taking off these ornaments and then break down these trees. Okay, so now I'm gonna start taking off the pink and white ornaments off of the main tree. I like to just keep all my colors separated so that whatever theme I end up doing next year, I can easily grab the totes that I need for whatever colors I am gonna use. Okay, so I'm kind of just reorganizing the existing totes that I have. This one's gonna be pillows, tree skirts, and stockings. I have a few different themes that I've collected over the years, but I'm putting all the themes in one. And the pink one from this year, along with these pillows. Hopefully this all fits in one. We squish it down. And then the new pink stockings from this year. So it's kind of just all the soft items. Does this go in that? Does this go with soft things or tabletop things?
Tabletop.
Okay. I like that you made that executive decision quickly. That's what I need help with. Okay, so lid that one. It just barely fits. I need like those vacuum seal.
Too much stuff, not enough.
Yeah.
I love that commercial. It just constantly.
That's what I need for that stuff. So then now we have this pile of ribbons and garlands and bows. And we're just gonna throw that in the ribbons and garlands and bows box. Should I probably wrap it up nicely? Yes. Am I gonna do that? No. Okay, so we are making progress. Totes are being reorganized and filled. I'm gonna get some vacuum bags to help with this stuff, but for now we're making progress with taking stuff back to the garage and clearing it out. All right, so we made really good progress with taking down pretty much all of the Christmas decorations. except for mainly just the big tree that my dad has to come and help take down with the big ladder. But other than that, everything is reset back to normal. I need to move on to putting away all this entertaining stuff, which has been left out for the past, what, like 3 weeks ever since my big Christmas party, which you guys can go check out that video if you haven't seen the vlog of the Christmas party. But this is kind of all of the food related setup type stuff that I use for that party. And a lot of this stuff I actually use repetitively anytime that I entertain. So I actually wanted to go through and tell you guys and kind of point out my top favorite, most used entertaining supplies and be able to link it for you guys, just so you guys can maybe start building up your entertaining supplies collection. So we have all this stuff that's just stacked up here because after it got washed and cleaned and sanitized, my housekeeping, they didn't know where to put it. So I just told them to put it here and I'll organize it. And then we have this stuff, which we actually used this thing for breakfast this morning. We had a little team breakfast when Zoe got here, and my mom did like a breakfast taco bar. So we had the tortilla warmer, and then you can have 3 different things in this kind of buffet warmer thing. This really comes in handy. I've used this several times. I used it for my taco bar at my resort birthday party. So I'll have this linked for you guys. I have the Instant Pot, this, 2 of those, plus a hot chocolate, I mean, not hot chocolate, what's this called? Chocolate fountain machine, and this smaller crock pot. So all these like heating element type things, I want them to be all together. I have all of this storage underneath the island. Right now it's kind of jumbled up. We have games, like board games and cards here. I had some of the heating element things here. This has like napkins and tablecloths. This is just kind of miscellaneous. So I think we should actually take all this out, start over, and make this make more sense and put like items together. I do also have this upper cabinet storage here that sort of has entertaining stuff in it, but then some of that related stuff is way over here. So I just feel like everything needs to be grouped together better. I'm feeling like this is turning into a whole kitchen reorganization, but I think that's what would make the most sense. So let's start by taking everything out of there, and then we can refill it properly. So starting with all of my heating element food warmers, serving food at a party related appliances, I want to start filling in like probably these first 2 cabinets. So I just told y'all about this one. Then I also have this one, which is a big roaster oven. So we served the big serving of gumbo out of here. There's a lot of things you can serve out of here and just keep it warm for a party, like larger things like a turkey or just larger quantities of things. Then we have this one, which is a dual-sided chafing dish, and it just looks really cute and nice and professional. And then it has a little spot underneath where you put the gel that you light to keep it warm. You don't have to plug this in, so you can put it anywhere, which is nice. And then I also have a little kind of mini crock pot, which comes in handy for certain things. You know, if you're serving queso and you just have the one queso by itself, this is really nice to have. Then speaking of queso, I also have my fondue machine, chocolate fountain, but you can also use it for like cheese fondue, I think, as well. So I used this at my Halloween party with the red chocolate to make it look like blood. You can use this for so many different occasions. All these things kind of go together. And then these 2 chafing dishes are my most used things probably by far at every party, no matter what I'm serving. This one is the dual-sided one for 2 different things. Then I also have another one that's the same thing, but it's just one big pan. And again, you put the little fire things underneath to keep it warm. Comes in super handy. You can put any kind of food you want in here. So I'll have those 2 linked as well. So all of that goes with this over here. Next 2 top items. Number 1 is my Instant Pot, which this is just, you know, an everyday appliance that you can use for everyday cooking uses. I don't really use mine a lot in that sort of way, but I use it a lot for entertaining. Again, to just cook food, heat food, keep it warm. This I'm gonna put under here with more of my normal everyday kitchen appliances rather than the entertaining stuff. And then these I had for my Christmas party for the hot cocoa bar, but I'm gonna link some like plain standard versions that don't have the red hot cocoa and chill on it, because these are really good for any sort of hot beverage that you might have, whether it's hot cocoa, coffee, hot water for tea, anything like that. If you're doing a brunch where you might have hot beverages, these really come in handy too. So I'll link these. And so these will go with the entertaining stuff. Down here, I think actually it should go next to the chocolate fountain instead of where that tortilla thing is. Is it tall enough? Just barely. Now we got chocolate fountain, hot cocoa, Instant Pots under here, and my other appliances. All right, next category of items that I need to find a spot for and also wanted to highlight for you guys are the cold beverages. So drink dispensers. I have a Christmas tree one for Christmas, obviously, but then like a regular, more plain one. This one had a cute detail for Ziya's mermaid party. It's a little bit nautical, but just like a plain one of these is really, really good to have. And then also these carafes for having like your juices that go with your cocktails, like cranberry juice, orange juice, pineapple juice type of thing. You can get them as a set. So these, I think are gonna go in the pantry on the top shelf. These, maybe these should go with it, I'm not sure. Another thing to highlight, these tiered serving trays. I use them every time I entertain. I have different styles of them, but I highly recommend having at least one of these. I'm gonna put these up here with my other ones. You can see I have all different styles of them. Glass, wood, metal, just depending on what the vibe of the party is. But they're also very like universal. I try to just stick to neutral styles for stuff like this so I can like easily reuse them no matter what kind of party or whatever I'm doing. Next top recommended entertaining item or category of items is serving platters, boards, and or trays. I have a few of these like oval ones. I have decorative wooden cutting board serving tray type things. Ones like this. This one spins around, Lazy Susan style. Different wooden trays, different styles. These just come super in handy. Again, trying to just buy them in neutral colors so I can reuse them for different themes. But any type of tray or board, I recommend having a few. So I'll have a few of my favorite ones and styles that I like linked for you guys. And then these are gonna go probably this next row down, but as you can see, it needs to be reconfigured. I need to refigure out the baskets and bins and trays situation because it's all like jumbled right now. This doesn't even go in here at all. I have more boards here, bunch of baskets. This is actually another tiered thing like this that just folds down flat. So while Zoe is reconfiguring the tablecloth and napkin situation into these bins, folding them nicely, I am just figuring out how I want everything staged on these shelves. I keep having to restage everything because every time I buy a new something, I have to kind of reconfigure it to make it fit. Okay, so here's where I'm at with the entertaining section of the pantry now. It's looking a lot better, and I also have kind of switched it from having a lot of like plastic paper goods, like paper plates and mismatched stuff that used to be here, to now only having like my actual decorative items, so it looks a lot nicer. This is bothering me. This was from Ziya's mermaid party, and I think I might just sacrifice them because it's bothering me. Honestly, the pumpkins bother me a little bit too, the orange pumpkins, but it's fine. Those are not too bad. So now switching gears back to this section here. This is all the stuff I was just talking about that is no longer being stored in the pantry because I felt like it just looked kind of messy. So it would be better to be hidden behind these doors. So we've already got food heater related things in here and in this one. And then we've got this row with tortilla warmer, hot chocolate thing, chocolate fountain. So then starting here, and then we have one more whole cabinet left. I want to put all this type of stuff. So I have like holders, like all my like plastic paper goods that have to do with entertaining, different types of cups and shot glasses, napkins for every occasion you can think of, movie night, Christmas, Disney princess, Halloween, all types of leftover napkins. Ooh, that fits perfect. Then we have plastic utensils, the more like serving utensils, and then the actual utensils, which I just have separated into forks, knives, and spoons. I know the colors are jumbled up, but I feel like it was better to separate it based on type versus color because I only have like a few of each color. And then I had randomly put the rest of that type of stuff up here, but I want it to all be together now. So I'm gonna take this down. This is like more different types of plastic cups and stuff. So now what I have left over are all of my games that I took out of this cabinet, but I feel like games, they can go on a whole nother spot in the house, honestly. I do have these upper cabinets that are still open. Like that's completely empty, that's empty, that's empty. Those are really high up, so I don't know if I necessarily want to put them way up there. I don't really have another open lower cabinet necessarily. No, these are all full. Well, what about this one? There's kind of some space in here that I can maybe use. All that was in that cabinet was this underwater outdoor camera, kids camera that Ziya got for her birthday, and then this mosquito repellent patio egg candle thingy. So these are two like outdoor items. And then I also have these things that came out of the pantry. These two smaller marshmallow roasters. You like put the alcohol in there and it lights a fire, and then these are cute little roaster stick things. But I also have my bigger tabletop fire pit with these sticks for more people. So all of this stuff is like for use outside on the patio, which is very nice now that I have my wet bar and all of this storage here. I actually have a space to store the outdoor patio related items. So I've already started using it. So this is the bigger tabletop fire pit. I can link this for you guys as well. I had this at my Christmas party to do the s'mores. So I have this out here, and I can put the other stuff here with it. So now all this stuff doesn't have to take up space inside in the pantry or anything. It could just be all out here on the patio. Fire pit, roaster, marshmallow, s'mores things are in here now. And then I'll put this stuff in another cabinet. Since we have a lot of space, we can kind of spread it out into categories. And there we go. Okay, so now this is a somewhat small cabinet, but it's pretty deep, so I think it'll fit all of my games. This is a pretty reasonable cabinet to put it in because it's kind of like at the end of the kitchen. When we play the games, we kind of take them over there to play them usually, or into the living room. So, and I don't have any storage in the living room itself, so this is probably the next best spot to put it. Okay, so all the games fit perfectly in here with actually room to grow as well if I ever get another game. That officially takes care of all of my main like decorative entertaining stuff, all of the other more unsightly entertaining stuff that's under here now, and all of the games that we play when I entertain as well. So that's all taken care of. It's starting to look a lot more cleared out. And then I also have this stuff left over now, which was once in the pantry. This is like our everyday use stuff. Like when we want to use a paper plate on a normal day, when I want to use a disposable straw on a regular day. Obviously we have real plates, and I also have glass straws, you know, save the turtles, but sometimes you need disposable options. So I obviously like to keep stuff like this on hand. I don't want to put this back in the pantry, I don't think. Definitely not over here with this stuff, because this is looking so nice. I don't want to junk it up with this, but I could put it on this side, maybe like with the paper towels and stuff. Maybe that makes more sense, except this whole side needs to be redone, and we didn't even touch that part today, or the actual food section today. We just did not get to it. That's probably gonna have to be a whole nother day, a whole nother project. So I think just for now, just, you know, we just gonna not talk about it. We're just gonna place it in the general vicinity that it needs to be, and we will probably revisit that another day. One more like must-have, most used, entertaining favorite item is this ice bucket on a stand situation. This is kind of like a nicer alternative to your standard like plastic cooler that you just roll in that's full of ice and drinks. This is like lifted up off the ground. It has a little bit more of an aesthetic look to it, and it's the same thing. You put ice and drinks in it, and it's just something really nice to have, especially if you're like entertaining outdoors, you know, anything like that. But I also use it indoors either way. But this is something that I've used time and time again with any sort of gathering that I throw. So if you guys are interested in the ice bucket or any of the other stuff that I pointed out in this video, you guys can actually scan this QR code with your phone's camera if you're watching on your TV. I know a lot of you guys watch my vlogs like casted to your TV. So if you are watching on your TV, pull out your phone, scan this QR code. It will take you to the full list of products that I have shared in this video. This is not sponsored or anything like that, but I'm just trying to think of ways to make it easier for you guys to actually get to the recommended products that I'm putting in my videos. So once again, if you're watching on your TV, scan this QR code with your phone. If you are watching from your computer or from mobile, just the standard way, you can also just go to the description box of this video and all the links will be listed. But yeah, I'm just trying to make it easier for you guys to get to the products. So I wanted to experiment with kind of the whole QR code thing. Definitely try it out. Let me know in the comments down below how it worked, if you liked it, and if I should keep doing that in my videos or not. So this just goes in my garage, so I'm gonna move that. And then I realized through this process that I think I wanna do some rearranging in my upper cabinets. So I think I'm gonna do that, and then I think we're gonna be done. I keep finding more things to like change and rearrange. So this really wasn't supposed to be a whole kitchen reorganization, take everything out of all the cabinets and reorganize the whole kitchen type of thing. It was just supposed to be reorganize the entertaining stuff that I had left out from the holidays, only just that category of stuff. But as I'm like trying to put away my entertaining stuff, I just keep noticing that I don't really like the setup of where I'm trying to put it away. So this cabinet, and this cabinet are really bothering me now. This one is supposed to be like the Tupperware type cabinet, you know, containers that have lids and whatnot go in here. But as you can see, first of all, just the way everything is shoved in here is very upsetting. But also, why do I have a whole separate set of Tupperware containers way over here on the other side of the kitchen? That cabinet's way over there. This cabinet's way over here. Why is this stuff not with that stuff? So I want to move that and then rearrange this, which would then leave space here to take all of this stuff out of this cabinet, which is mostly vitamins, protein powders, like that type of stuff, but then randomly has a shelf of like bartending cocktail shot glasses, but it's also not next to the rest of the cocktail stuff. So I want this to be the cocktail stuff and that to be the vitamins and that to be the Tupperware. Does that make sense? So anytime I do anything like this, it basically always starts with just taking everything out, clear it out so I can see what I'm working with and see the space that I'm working with. Okay, so now this cabinet over here is now going to be all of my cocktail related stuff, and I'm gonna arrange it how it makes sense. Like easy to reach stuff down here is stuff that I'm always like more often reaching for, like shot glasses and stuff like that. More specialty cocktail stuff that I don't use that often, I'll put more at the top. I might actually lower this shelf down. So like shakers, shot glasses, these can then go up here. I have this nice set. That's not something I use all the time, so maybe I should just like put it at the top to look pretty by itself. And then I have a few different shakers and I have a bunch of shot glasses. So this is looking really good so far. The tools and the containers and then all the shot glasses nicely lined up and some shakers. I'm hating this random blue Fiesta shaker in here. And then I also have these other random, you know, cheesy things, holiday things, Halloween shot glasses, souvenir shot glasses. And then I also have this set of rainbow shot glasses that I've never even opened, and I'm like, I don't even want to put that stuff up there, and I want to take this one out because doesn't that just look so nice on its own? Do we really even need this stuff? You know, like, do we need it? Do we really? I mean, I do want to keep my little souvenir ones, but I don't drink out of these. They're just souvenirs, so maybe I should put them elsewhere. But then what's the point of having them if I'm never gonna use them or look at them, or like, you know, I don't know. And I have so many of these clear shot glasses. Do I really need this whole other set? These I've like never used in my life. I think I can definitely get rid of these. Like, what am I using a flask for? These Halloween ones are not important to me. I can get rid of those because they're not really souvenirs from anything. But these three 3 are souvenirs from vacations, and I do want to keep them for sentimental reasons, but I think I can find somewhere else. Maybe I can put them on display in my glam room with all my other random memorabilia. That might be a better place to put them. So we'll set those aside. Oh, and then I have these. These I do want to keep. I'm not sure about these. These for sure, and they go with the set anyway. Okay. That just leaves me with this set of unopened rainbow shot glasses that I don't really need, but something is making me want to keep them. Giveaway? Who wants to win a set of tricolor shot glasses? All right, so here's what I've landed on. I've got my tools. Those are just some little specialty ice cube trays. Got my carafes, my decanters, my shakers, and then all of my shot glasses. That's all I need. That's all I ever really actually use. And I think it looks so much better and it's just so much nicer. Like when I'm entertaining and it's time to make a cocktail, like just imagine I have friends over and I'm like, oh, y'all want a shot? Y'all want a cocktail? And I open this up and everyone's like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, wow. But now I have to figure out what to do with all of this stuff that I took out of that cabinet. I know for sure I'm putting this stuff down there. So once again, let me start by taking everything out of here. I know there's some stuff in here that I don't need as well, so I might as well just go ahead and declutter. These plastic bottles, juice bottles that I got from Amazon, they were not dishwasher safe and they got put in the dishwasher and they like got all melted and deformed. I don't know why I kept some of them, but these are trash now. I had already replaced them with the glass version anyway, so I definitely don't need those plastic ones. I already have a bunch of these glass ones. I consider this to be in the Tupperware container, even though it's like a drink, like you would think maybe I'd put it with my drinking glasses, but A, the drinking glasses cabinet is already full, so there's not space for these to go with them. And B, like these are kind of more of like a container to me. Like it's a container, it has a lid. Like it's not a water bottle, it's not with the water bottle section, and it's not with the drinking glasses section. To me, it's more with the Tupperware section. It just makes sense in my head. So that's where I'm gonna put them. Except I'm realizing now, where are all the lids? Only 2 of the bottles have lids on them. I might have to buy a new set of lids, but we will revisit that. This says plastic containers, but now I have glass in here as well, so I'm actually going to change this label. I have everything labeled for my housekeepers, just to make it easier on them to know where to put everything whenever they're like emptying the dishwasher and stuff. And also for Ziya, because like the Spanish Ziya is, you know, doing the whole Spanish thing. I definitely have like some mismatched random plastic containers, which was like the whole point of me getting these glass containers was to not have the mismatched plastic, but I still ended up still having some mismatched plastic that I just don't need. I just don't need it. Time to get rid of that. Like almost all of this random stuff down here, I don't use it, I don't need it. I like the glass with the bamboo lids a lot better. The only ones that I use are like the ones for Ziya's lunchbox. So this one, this one, this one. All the rest of these, literally, I don't need these. Now, as far as plastic containers, I do like these ones. This nice matching set with the clickety-clack airtight lids. Like I like these and I have a whole matching set of these, so I'm definitely gonna keep these ones for sure. These are my produce containers for my refrigerator organization. Another extra like refrigerator organization container that I'm just not using right now, but I use it on and off. My popcorn, microwave popcorn maker thing, and then this random pitcher that I sometimes use for random things. And this is a special avocado keeper that actually really does come in handy. Boom! Okay, so here's what we're left with. It's looking much better, and these got moved to be with their brothers and sisters, which makes a lot more sense. Got all my bottles, glass containers, and then plastic containers down here. And this is really all I need. I don't need any more containers than this amount. So the fact that I even had all of this extra stuff in here was just so unnecessary. So this is all gonna be gotten rid of. Now, out of everything that I just rearranged, I'm just left with these, which are like these little little mini bowls that I use for like dips and sauces. I use them in everyday life, but I use them mainly for entertaining, especially these ones. Like when I did my taco bar, I had all the different little toppings and stuff. I'm going to put these up on this top shelf with my regular bowls. Those random things up there, I never use them. Clearly they're like random one-off mismatch, so I'm gonna donate those. Like, I don't need these 2 random Fiesta plates, and I don't need these 2 random, well, these I might use because they kind of can be used alongside these ones. So let's just see. Do I need these? I don't need these. Stop being a hoarder, Raven. I've never used those. Why would I start using them now? I don't need them. So there's this cabinet done. Entertaining bowls, regular everyday life cereal type bowls, regular everyday life plates, slash, you know, I keep extra plates in case I have extra people. And then I have a whole nother set of blates that go right here, but I use those every day and they're all dirty in the dishwasher, but the blates go right there. And then that's the bowls and plates. All right, reset and organize day 2. Today is Saturday, yesterday was Friday, so no help from Zoe, my personal assistant today. It's just me. I'm trying to kind of finish up everything before, like within the next 30 minutes because my housekeeping people are coming and they're gonna actually do like the cleaning, like the cleaning the floors and disinfecting type cleaning. So I wanna get all of my reorganizing done before they come to do that. Where we're at right now is that I have amassed this pile of get rid of dishes. Some of these dishes are my mom's and she probably wants them back. Some are gonna be really good to donate. Some of them are questionable. I don't know if they're good enough to donate, but I will try. So this is like my little pile of decluttering. Since I left off with working on some of the cabinets last night, I wanted to just kind of go ahead and hit every single cabinet pretty much. Might as well. I cleared off all of the shot glasses, cocktail stuff out of this upper cabinet, so now I have space to just kind of fill up this whole cabinet. Again, we haven't actually, you know, reorganized the entire pantry, but eventually I want to do that too. But I have like this backstop of protein powder, which like, it's fine. I do have space to keep it here, but like might as well have it all in one spot, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna move all of this stuff to this top shelf, so that'll be like the backstop shelf. And just so that all this stuff is in one spot, because I just feel like that makes more sense. All of these, you know, kind of refill unopened new ones will go at the top. I really need to get back on my smoothie routine. I haven't been drinking them recently, but you know, sometimes when you refresh and reset and reorganize your stuff, it like reminds you and inspires you to use your stuff. Because when stuff gets all like junky and jumbled up, sometimes, see, and I was looking for this. I actually used this. I went through a whole container of it because I was consistently taking it every morning. It's a collagen powder. It's supposed to help with your hair, skin, and nails. I feel like it actually kind of did help a little bit. And I was like, I feel like I have another container of it, but where is it? And here it is. So I'm actually gonna put this right here so I remember to put it in my coffee every morning like I was doing. And I think that's it for the stuff that would go in that cabinet. The next cabinet that I need to fix is this one. I was trying to get away with it. I kind of just shoved some stuff in here yesterday. So I was like, oh, it doesn't really matter, but let me actually do it the right way. I have some just like novelty items and like Christmas type stuff, kind of like entertaining stuff, but I don't know. It's really just jumbled up. I think what I want this cabinet to be is stuff like this, like sort of like entertaining stuff, but it's like holiday and entertaining stuff that I don't want to have on display over here in the pantry. Like, you see how nice and neutral this looks? I don't want to put this or this or this with it, so I'd rather have it hidden under here. These are also some extra buckets that I use for like ice buckets to put drinks in and stuff, different things like that. These little trays you can use to set stuff out for entertaining. A bunch of glass jars that I use to put stuff in to display toppings and things for the Christmas party. Just random stuff. There's some random baking stuff in here that doesn't belong in here. That should go with the rest of my baking stuff elsewhere. Here's this, just kind of decluttered and placed nicely. I also had this life vat. This is like if you're choking, but I'm going to keep this in the pantry in an easy to grab spot instead of being jumbled up with all that stuff under there. As for the cookie cutters and baking supplies, I have my other cookie cutters and baking stuff in the pantry over here. As you can see, it's not looking too good since the holidays, since the gingerbread house contest, and I need to reset that, but I need better containers because right now I have cookie cutters in these two things, but I have more cookie cutters than actually fit in here. So I obviously need like a bigger container for cookie cutters. I also need some sort of container for these silicone thingies because I have several of these. I need a container for icing bags and icing tips, like all this stuff that's just kind of loose. I need to get the containers first before I can fix that. And then the last drawers that really need fixing are this one and especially this one. This is my takeout drawer. So all of the sauces and packets and silverware and chopsticks that for some reason I feel like whenever I order food, I just need to keep that stuff. But clearly it has gotten out of hand and we just need to start over because who knows, it's all mixed up. Who knows how old these sauces are, which ones are the old ones, which ones are the fresher ones. We don't know. Do I need this silverware? No. So I really think I'm about to just dump this whole entire drawer. It also had spilled into this drawer, like even more silverware. So much freaking silverware. So much silverware. And this is supposed to be the drawer for like my little hand immersion blender type appliances, but it spilled into this. So let's just dump this out. I'm gonna set aside the silverware because I don't know, I feel bad throwing that away. I'm not gonna necessarily keep it, but maybe somebody wants it. But the sauces and things gotta go. There's like a whole extra a whole container of just Whataburger ketchup that I didn't even know was back there. Ew. Ew, and it spilled in here. Ew. Ew. Ew, everything's all sticky and nasty. There's so much. Oh my God, it's worse than I thought. Look at how many McDonald's tangy barbecues. Why do I have so many McDonald's tangy barbecues? We don't even eat McDonald's that much. So much, ew. More tangy barbecue. Bro, I did not know it was that much in here. I am ashamed. The whole drawer liner got it. Ew. Nah, bro. Okay, I don't really have anything else that needs to go in this drawer necessarily, so I am gonna keep like an emergency stash of silverware. Sometimes that does come in handy, I don't know. What I will use this sometimes for is to throw it into Ziya's lunch, because a lot of times if I give her real stuff, she doesn't remember to like bring it back home or she accidentally throws it away or whatever. Might as well keep a few of the good chopsticks, I suppose. And then I have these little sugar packs. I don't know. I don't know who uses those, but might as well put it back in there. Now I need to go to the store and get the missing containers that I need to finish up. I need one for my baking cookie cutter type stuff. I would also like to look for a different cuter jar for my K-cups and just stuff to cutify this area maybe. And then I need a container to put all of my new pink Christmas ornaments in. So one container for this pile and another container for the specialty ornaments, that pile. And then maybe one for this stuff as well. And then I also have all of my outdoor decorations, which are just piled up in my garage right now. So of course I need to deflate all of the inflatables and those will get folded down and they need their own container. All of this other super big stuff, obviously you can't like put it in a container. I'm just gonna like put it somewhere. But some of this slightly smaller stuff, like these candy props, can probably go in a container. So I need more of these big containers like this for that type of stuff. So probably one 2, 3. I'll probably get 4 big ones for all of this outdoor stuff, I'm thinking. And then maybe 2 medium ones for this stuff. And then just 1 small one for my cookie cutters to go in the pantry. So I need to write that down, and we need to go to Walmart. I'm gonna try Walmart first, if not Target, to see what kind of containers they have. I know around this time, like in January, the containers be super sold out because everyone is doing the same thing. So fingers crossed I can find what I need. So it is now nighttime on day 2, and after searching high and low at multiple stores, I was able to get some of the containers that I needed, but not all of them. I did get this clear one from Target. I wasn't able to find anything at Walmart, so this is all from Target. But I got this for the baking goods. I was able to get 4 of these for like the main Christmas stuff here. I wasn't able to find any of the larger sized ones that I needed for the rest of the stuff in the garage, so I'll have to revisit that later, but this will at least get me started with this stuff. The other thing I bought was this new air fryer. Not really an organizational item, but kind of a New Year kitchen refresh item. I just thought it was so cute. Like, the design of it is so much cuter than my existing air fryer, which is not bad. It's all black, sleek, small, like nothing wrong with it per se, and it works just fine, honestly. But for me, this isn't cute enough to leave out on my counter at all times, so I usually hide it in that cabinet and I take it out like back and forth every day because I use an air fryer like almost every day. With this one, I'm thinking it might be cute enough to actually leave out on the counter. And then I also got this. So I'm gonna unbox this in a minute, but first let me put away the stuff that goes in this bin. We're gonna transfer all the cookie cutters, these silicone thingies, and then all the cookie cutters. There's that, and then that leaves me with these now that I can put something else in. I have all these icing bags and icing tips. I can definitely put tips in one of these. Okay, I ended up finding another little clear container that I already had that I wasn't using to put all the icing bags and tips in. So I just have this and this. These 2 are now left over. I have my food coloring and then like candles and cake toppers, and these, I had it like that already. This here, and the icing bags and stuff will go like that. There's that sorted. Moving on to the other containers I got for the Christmas stuff. I don't believe in individually wrapping your ornaments or having the little separators or the little things. I just put them all carefully together. If they're just sitting in this box, they're not gonna break. There's no reason why they should shatter by just being piled in here. Now, if you start rough handling the box, then yeah, of course, you're gonna have problems. But in my experience, if you just place them gently, they should be fine. So then I'm gonna put these in a Ziploc just to kind of separate them. These are not breakable, so I can just not literally throw them. And then I have this other baggie of the little mini ones. Like that. Perfect, exact fit. Then for this next container, it's gonna be the pink specialty ornaments. I'm not sure if these, yeah, this is not gonna fit in there. I have to put that somewhere else. Again, just putting them in here, but I'm gonna put the more fragile, crunchable ones on the top. But most of these are like shatterproof. Go ahead and put my pink paper snowflakes in here as well. Okay, this is all my strings of lights, and since these candy canes light up, I'm gonna put them in here. I think that's how I had them before anyway. I don't know if they're all gonna fit though. Okay, so as far as this area of the garage, that's just gonna have to be that like that. I got all of that up there like that. I got all the new pink stuff like that. Everything else filled in from before. And then I wanted one more big container like this to put all of this stuff in, but that was the container that they were sold out of. I couldn't find it anywhere, so I'm gonna have to wait for a restock and get that container. And then where am I gonna put that container when I get it? We will cross that bridge when we get to it. It might have to be some stacking up here type situation probably. Over here, I just need to put this in here with the rest of them. And then this goes on top of here. Mr. Nutcracker, I'm going to move with his other friends over here. And then I have my one last container that I was able to buy today. It's not super big, but I'm hoping that once I deflate all of these and fold them up real small, that they will all fit in this one little container. Starting with this one, gingerbread number 1. So this air pump that I used to pump them up actually does have a deflate mode as well, but I haven't tried yet, so that should make the deflation process go by faster. Okay, the deflator definitely, which is basically just a vacuum motion to really suck it all out and get it super compact, which I think is gonna really help actually make it all fit in this little container. So that's good. 1 down, 3 to go. All right, now that whole pile is finally cleared out. And here's what the Christmas section of my garage is looking like. I mean, I made it fit, barely, but I made it fit. No storage unit just yet, but we're getting very close. Storage unit is probably the next best thing if I accumulate any more stuff, because you guys have asked me about like basement and attic space. I don't have a basement, I do have an attic. There's already stuff in there. Attic space, not really viable. It's not much space and it's already full, and it's actually really hard to kind of like get to, so I really wouldn't want to put my Christmas stuff up there, like all this big bulky stuff. And then the other thing you guys have always suggested to me is those things that go on your ceiling in the garage where you can like put the big bins up on the ceiling. I'll insert an example. I don't know, I feel like that's just not practical at all. And it's very nerve-wracking. I feel like those big heavy bins could fall off the ceiling and onto my head at any given moment, or onto my car. Like, imagine all those big bins up there, and I just don't like that idea. I also don't feel like it's very practical. These ceilings are like very tall, like, I don't like the garage ceiling bin contraption either. So that pretty much leaves me with, we need space outside of the house. We need maybe a holiday storage unit where I can keep all of my Christmas and Halloween stuff mainly. And then every year I take a trip to the storage unit, load up my car, and bring stuff. I don't know. Or I can just stop being so ridiculous, let go of some stuff, stop buying new stuff every year, stop making new stuff every year, and just be done with it. But raise your hand if you really think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, okay. Okay, now it's time to put my normal things back on this table. Bougie, that is not what I meant by normal things. Something like that, I think. Here's my new air fryer. Cute, cute. I also got this hand blender. I already had one, but this one comes with other attachments that I wanted, and I will get my other one. I don't know if my mom needs one, or maybe my sister, somebody. But look how cute this stuff is. Very nice. Cute. Vroom, vroom. I will link this stuff for you guys as well, the air fryer and the immersion blender. I have space for it in this drawer where I have some of my other little contraptions and appliances. So I'll just keep it in here. Perfect. What do we think about the air fryer though in terms of aesthetic? Is it cute enough to leave it on the counter? Leave it out? Is it cute enough to be left out like that? I would push it all the way over in the corner, but the plug is right here, so I kind of have it strategically like hiding the plug. It's definitely cuter than my old one over there, which I'm about to give away, but I don't know. It's definitely cuter. Cuter for sure. Oh, I need to finish unpackaging it, but I like it. We'll see if I feel like it's worthy of just like staying here permanently. If not, I have space under here to put it away. All right, you guys, it's the next morning, Sunday morning, and everything is feeling nice and fresh and clean and reset for the new year. So I wanted to give you guys a little tour of the finished product. So starting in the entryway, we have my console table area, and I just have my 2 new vases that I got from HomeGoods, which I think are looking really cute. I added some faux greenery to that one. And then everything is all de-Christmasified, no more Christmas. I put all of my normal pots and things back on this table. Another thing I wanted to show you guys in my office is my 2 new side tables that I got from HomeGoods at the same time that I got the 2 new vases. I got 2 of them because I just felt like it would be a cool little moment to have 2 tables next to each other, like the bigger one and the smaller one. And I just liked the texture of them. So I don't know, I'm going for kind of a mismatched eclectic vibe in my office, as you can see with the gallery wall and everything. So yeah, I definitely still need to like style these tables. Like I think I need to put a little small plant on top of one of them or something like that. In other news, I'm not loving my desk setup anymore, like the actual desk and chair, so I might end up changing that. Stay tuned. But anyway, going through the entryway into the living room, everything is nice and clean. No more Christmas tree. Everything is reset back to normal. So nothing really new in here. I just put everything back how it already was for the most part. This table is another area that I always end up changing and rearranging a lot. So this is what it looks like today. It'll probably be different next week. I still have a lot of my potted plants inside that used to be outside because the weather is still kind of crazy right now. So this is normally outside, but I'm putting it here for now. I've already tried having a fiddle leaf fig tree in this spot and it did not do well at all. So I'm not hopeful as far as being able to leave it like that. And I know these don't like to be moved around anyway, but it's looking like for now. And then switching over into the kitchen. The kitchen is looking so fresh and clean and reset for the new year, and it is very organized as well. Got the new air fryer looking cute. I just, you know, reset all of this. Is nice and freshly reorganized and reset. So we've got the cocktail cabinet that I showed you guys. Don't forget, I will have my key items linked in the description box for you guys, or you can go back and scan that QR code that I had earlier in the video. Here's what this cabinet looks like now. I refreshed this one a little bit too. And this one now only has vitamins and protein in it instead of having vitamins and shot glasses in it like it did before. I will say my coffee station is not looking cute at all, and I still want to completely redo this, but that will be another project for another day. And then as far as the pantry goes, we only organized this one side of the pantry, just all of my entertaining stuff. It's looking really good though. Just kind of all of my prettiest stuff on display in here. And I did organize this little chunk right here with all of my baking supplies, but as I said before, the whole rest of the pantry, once again, that's gonna be a separate project for another day. I'll probably make a TikTok doing all of this part. So definitely follow me on TikTok if you're not already. And then as I showed y'all, since I only put like the pretty entertaining stuff in the pantry, I put the not so pretty entertaining stuff under here, like all of my warming dishes and paper and plastic goods are under there. Don't forget, I will have all of my warming dishes and entertaining stuff like that linked as well. And then this is what I was talking about as far as still having my potted plants inside. I still have my 2 bird of paradise plants in here in the dining room, just because like I said, the weather is still a a little bit iffy right now, which, you know, they really don't look bad in that placement. I probably wouldn't have this here as well. Like that feels like too much going on with my other fiddle leaf trig also being right there. I don't know, I don't think I'm gonna leave them like that because they're really meant to go on the patio. It's just for the weather right now. And then speaking of the patio, that is also looking nice and fresh. We got the new wet bar set up and I just went and cleaned it off and everything. I will be doing a separate video all about the wet bar and the patio. There's still more that needs to be done to the patio, so it's actually not 100% done yet. Just as far as like final details and accessories, you know, a rug and stuff like that. And I'm also wanting to add lighting to the wet bar area. So not quite done yet, but looking good so far. I'm feeling very refreshed for the new year. We are nice and reset for 2023.